Good morning. I'm Sharon Johnston, and that's Mitzi. Welcome to my happy place. She has a new little happy place. That's where she normally sits in her little thing. There's her water. And this is my little place. All right, this morning we're going to work on our stitch dictionary. You can find this pattern on my Facebook group or on my coffee site. You can get it for free. Please hit the like button and hype if you don't mind. It helps me out a lot. And I wanted to share before we get into, here they are. I made some little thingies to go in my stitch book. Then I realized I didn't leave room, which is just silly. So on the very first page though, I left a little room and I filled it in a little bit. So then I just stitched the needle and that would be this little thing. I just stitched that in there on the bottom. So I'm going to have to remember in the future to leave room, but I might be able to use these for like page tabs. Here's an example. This page is going to be folded like this when we finish the book. That'll be folded like that. And I can put this one like right there on the edge. You know what I mean? But that will be later. That will be after we finish all the, oh my gosh, so many stitches. And so here's our next one, is the crossed buttonhole stitch. There's her photographs. I really like this one that has one leg higher than the other, which is kind of cool, and they're back to back. And here she has them stacked, which is kind of cool. There's a regular one back to back. Now she's got them pretty close together, and I think that you can do them like really close together, like one on top of the other. But I'm going to do, I put in my little dots from my dot grid, and I'm going to do that. Also, like usual, I'm going to work upside down from what she is working. Okay. This is the crossed buttonhole. We're going to come up here, right next to that. To make the first section, first leg of that X. And we're going to go here. And that makes the second leg of our X. Now we're going to go here for the next X and up here. Then down here for the second leg of the X and up there. I'm going to skip this dot and go to here. And then I'm going to go back here. Oh, all right. And there. So you could just take your marker and mark in your X's like that. That might be helpful. Okay, I'm going to end this off. I'm just going to go. You could go right next to it, but I'm just going to end off there. Then our next stitch is a double buttonhole. So I'm just going to come up here I'm going to bring this thread to the back. And I'm going to grab a new thread. So I have my new thread, and I'm going to turn my work around because I don't like working upside down. And I'm going to go in between those dots because I want the stitch to kind of go in the middle of those two bars. Okay, and we'll end that off. And move on to our next stitch. The next stitch is a Fringed buttonhole. So I have here some pieces of thread. They're about 5 inches long. I'm going to take one and fold it in half. I just happen to have this crochet hook. This is, I believe it's, I think it's antique. I don't know for sure. It's at least vintage. So I'm going to pull it through and then pull the threads through. And then I'm going to cut those short later because that's really long, or maybe I'll leave them. So again, I'm going to wrap around the crochet hook and then wrap those around there. Let's do this one more time. Now let's say you don't have a crochet hook. I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the blunt end and then, no, I need to pull it all the way through. I should have done this off camera before I got cocky and said, hey, we can do this without a crochet hook. Okay, now you have your two ends. Let me make this loop bigger. You have a loop there on the top, and then you're just going to pull those threads and your needle through the loop. Tighten it down. That one might not stay because of the nature of this thread. I like this much better. Of course, I crochet and I have lots of crochet hooks. I would bet there are not many of my stitchers who don't already own a crochet hook or two. You go to my Facebook group, there's someone who posted an emotional support chicken. And then I started seeing on YouTube. Think they talk to each other? Started seeing on YouTube videos of emotional support chickens. And who knows, maybe they're just really popular right now. But I may crochet an emotional support chicken. Okay, so I think 3 is enough for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.